Get it going here. 3 minutes. Testing. Can you hear me? About 3 minutes, we're going to get started. So if there's an empty chair at a table, grab it. I don't think we'll need any more tables. Is Irma here? Is Irma Harden here today? Irma? No? Okay. Okay, thank you. We're going to get the meeting started. We've got some great things ahead of us to do today. Everybody has a chair. I'm sure there's chairs back there, and there's the whole bench here, and there's a chair here. If Irma Harden walks in late, make sure she knows that I'm looking for her. I don't like to embarrass people, but Irma's okay. We can embarrass her. I'm going to call the meeting to order, and we're all going to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And the guests and new members, please remain standing. We like to know who we can attack and ask to be. Yay! Just so you know, I've been looking, and the new members that have been signing up, it's been about 8 people since January, February, March. So eight or 9 people each one of those months. That's pretty good, yeah. You guys are still on the job, though. You're still recruiting for volunteers and new members. I know you are. Our secretary is not here today, so I'll be doing minutes, but I'm doing them tonight in front of my computer at home, but we will keep track of who makes the motions and seconds. I have an alternate doing that. If you had a chance to read the minutes, I would appreciate having someone make a motion that we approve the minutes as they are. They are posted on the bulletin board in the multipurpose room. Who would like to make a motion that we approve the minutes? May I have your name? Paul what? Oh, Paul Veltman, welcome. Paul Veltman made a motion. Do I have a second? Charlie Menino is a second. And I think my alternate got those names. Okay, thank you. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed to having the minutes? No. Okay, thank you so much. Also on the treasurer's report, those are always submitted at the board meeting, and we always post them for audit, and that's where they are. You have access to those, by the way, just by logging in on the website, and you can dig your way around that website and you can find those treasurer's reports. Just a couple things from me. The yellow and the green little things on the tables were for the suggestion box. The yellow one was because I didn't bring them last month, so now you've got two. And there's a suggestion box on this table by the quilts, if and when you want to fill something out for me. I'm just curious, that's why I've put these out here. And then just drop them in that box, it'd be appreciated. Since the last meeting, we had several ad hoc committees formed, and ad hoc usually just means temporary. It's not ongoing year after year. And I'm going to really quickly read the names of those people that stepped up and said yes, and they would be on these ad hoc committees. One of the committees is the Financial Review Committee, another one is the Bylaws Committee, another one is Policies and Procedures, and the new one is the Website Review Committee. If you all would stand up when I read your name, I want everyone else to see who's volunteering, okay? Jude Roosh, Judy Martin, Paul Veltman, Chris Paler, Connie Sheets, Jill Mitchell, Jim Weichel, Dave Conklin, Delia Jones, I saw Sandy Edke, Krista Minogue, Barbara Schroyer, and Sandy Bauer. If she's standing up, she's in Houston, and Stephanie Sparks. Thank you for very much. Thank you. Speaking of the Website Review Committee, for me it's new. We have a camera in the multipurpose room now, and we also have a special speaker that picks up everything in the room, so we were able to have the first Website Review Committee meeting doing that so that Sandy Bauer, the webmaster in Houston, could be a part of that. And it was pretty successful. They're going to try it one more time, make sure all the wrinkles are out, and then if they are, the board is discussing having the same equipment installed in the computer lab. So when we do computer classes, you know, people can either do it from home or whatever. You'll find on one of those survey sheets there's a question about doing virtual meetings. We had some fun this last week. It's not genealogical related, but it is life-saving, and that was the fire extinguisher tutorial that Pat put together with the Sun City Fire Department. And she asked for people to sign in to let her know ahead of time, and she held 2 sessions, and she's going to have another one in April. How many of you know right where your fire extinguishers are in your home? How many of you know how to work it? Okay, and how many of you know the date that it expired? Okay. Well, I didn't. I ran home, told my husband, start looking. We just bought this house in October. We didn't even have fire extinguishers, so he bought me my kitchen one. So if you're interested, please sign up. Pat will keep track of how many, because we're only allowed to have, well, not allowed, we could have 20 per session. But it's very informative. It didn't last very long. The fireman was great. He brought his brochure, and everybody got to take a turn pretending to put a fire out. Not a real one, you know, pretend. So see Pat or email Pat. She's in charge of the aids, and we're educating ourselves. Do you know where the fire extinguishers are in the library? Good for you, 5 people. Okay. So these go in the suggestion box, and you'll get the answers. I mean, if you're asking me questions or anybody that's reading those, you're going to get the answers. Thank you. We'll put them probably in tidbits. Right now, we're going to move on to our volunteer appreciation. I think that Stephanie is going to make that announcement.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is our volunteer appreciation board for the month, and oh, you got it. Sorry. Hi there. If you don't know it, any of these slides that look any good at all are all because of Molly Monk. And yeah. And I must say that today at 11 a.m., I texted, or I emailed her and said, I need 2 changes, because I was repeating myself, and she managed to do it. I pulled into the parking lot here and had an email from her saying it's all done. So, thank you, Molly. You'll probably remember that when we honored Charlie Menino a couple of months ago for his role in putting together the 50th anniversary celebration, when we talked to him about it, he was hesitant to accept because he thought that someone else had made some significant contributions as well. One of them was her zeal to reach out to many former presidents and members, and that to participate in the celebration. We even got one ex-president to rejoin the society. Being an ex-president, I understand the desire to flee. She also solicited and organized the raffle and the door prize items, but it was her knowledge of WVGS that made her so valuable. I stand up here each month and express the Society's gratitude for one of our volunteers, and each one of them is special, but sometimes there are ones that are especially fun. At this point, I would usually recap our winner's bio, tell you what she'd done in her life before WVGS and how she got into genealogy and all those things, but then I started looking at what she'd done, and it turns out that she's got a whole bio just with her WVGS volunteering. She's been volunteering for 26 years in this organization. She was already involved with the Arizona Pioneer Certificate Program when she started, and she still is. She quickly became the library administrator, a position she held for 16 years. She added to that the role of president in 2000 and 2001, which happens to be the year that we bought the library building. And if that wasn't enough, she was on the painting crew. I'm going to have to paint the inside before we opened it up. She was honored as the Volunteer of the Year by the Federation of Genealogical Societies in 2003. She took a few years off at that point and then came back gradually to the fundraising committee as facilitator of the Italy SIG, and finally as co-director of fundraising at the board. The intent is that the director on the board works with a committee which they represent. However, since we have neither committee nor chair for fundraising, she and her partner, longtime partner, and that do it all. You see her every month as she raffles off all of our prizes, and I see her every month as she's curating the prizes to put together on the tables in the library. So I expect you all know by this time who this is, and in the business world, this would have at least guaranteed her a watch. At WVGS, you get a certificate, a pin, and a coin purse, and she doesn't even get that today because I forgot to bring them. So I see her all the time. She'll get it eventually. So I want everybody to both do 2 things. Give her a round of applause and watch the video that's about to show this. So Peggy, come up here. Oh, I should probably I do have a certificate.
What a surprise. I've never been,
Oop. Oh, sorry. We have a video here for just a second.
What's the video?
Yeah, just wait.
You weren't
It's not showing. All right, take it down. Sorry. It was indeed. Turn it up. It was indeed her. It was her dancing at the 50th anniversary celebration. So. Della.
Oh.
Go get the. Oh, she's here. Oh, I'm sorry. We have another a special award ceremony today. We have been holding our monthly meetings at this church for the last, I think, 15 years. And for as long as I have been volunteering here, the active face of the church to us has been two people. One all of you know, at least by sight, Stewart Porter, who runs the computer, and that he listens to us each month go on and on about genealogy, and he runs the lights, cameras, and microphones that make these meetings work. The second one is Sandy Turner in the yellow top sitting over here, who you probably don't know unless you've gotten lost on your way to your way to the meeting here, in which case Sandy has found you and brought you over. But behind the scenes, she handles all of the paperwork and the money and the questions that we are incessantly asking, and that involved in a 15-year relationship. So we thought it was time to recognize them. They volunteer for the church, and like us, and they help make this meeting work every month. So Stewart, come up here, and Sandy. Yep, me and, oops, excuse me. Okay. Get out of the way, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Well, we almost had live entertainment, but you'll see it on our webpage. I think it's already posted on the webpage. Molly, you might check. I've seen it somewhere. Them dancing. Peggy. Okay. All right. That was really cute. I can't believe, Peggy, you've never had a Volunteer of the Month award. Oh my God. I can't believe that. Oh, glasses. Thank you so much. Our next, Marilyn Simonis. I always look out in the audience and they're right next to me. Yes, she's our second vice, and she's probably going to give a report on how we did at the seminar, but if I'm putting my foot in my mouth, I apologize.
Hello, everybody. For those of you who came, we have great reports. It sounds like everybody loved Michael and wants Michael back. Wasn't he amazing? I told you he would be. I don't take any credit. I don't take any credit for that, because by the time I got on the board, they had already chosen him. But I knew him personally, and so I knew he would be awesome. So I was telling somebody, I said, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, whatever day we met. I think it was Saturday. My life's a blur. Anyway, Saturday we met as a seminar committee to look at how we did and how things went and how the evaluations went. And we drew the name for the winner of the free seminar registration next year. So I was asked to announce that today, so I proudly and happily announce that the winner of that is Pam LaFond. Congratulations. So and then the other thing we started doing on Saturday, we did start coming up with a couple of names I have to reach out to look for speakers for next year. We're taking all of your suggestions into account, trying to get a well-rounded speaker, someone not just focused on one thing, but on the major things that we're being asked to be heard about. And that was really bad English, I'm sorry, really poor English. Let's see, what else? Tripp. Those of you going on the trip, that's Saturday, and on Sunday, most people get there. I'm gonna be there Saturday with my 10th cousin, Sandra Risto, and we're gonna be heading up there on Saturday, so I'll be meeting all of you there. I'll have lanyards and other things and information for you when you get there, so look forward to the week. I can't wait to have a break and just have fun at the library. Let's see, and I'm still in the process of getting things ready for the Fort Wayne trip. Still in the works with the lady from Fort Wayne, Visit Fort Wayne. And so as I get more information, I'll let you all know. I think that's about it for me. So enjoy the day.
Okay, I'm so happy that I heard that cell phone because that reminded me to remind you to turn off your cell phones before our special panel comes on board. I'm just going to make this announcement, so Pam gave me permission. The Membership Outreach Committee, Pam and people that work with her, they're planning a meet and greet for new members. If you are a new member from January 1st forward, we're going to have a meet and greet morning. It starts at 10 a.m. in the multipurpose room. You're all invited. Pam needs to know if you're coming, so it's sort of like an RSVP, because we have usually treats, and I don't know if we'll have door prizes, but we always have something fun. So if you're a new member and it's been since January 1st, you're invited to come. 10 o'clock, multipurpose room, last Monday in March 29th. Thank you. Now Sherry Erickson has some special presentations. Okay. Peggy, do you want me to say anything about the fundraising? I will make the announcement about the quilt raffle, because the quilt raffle will happen before you go home today. So during the break, if you're interested in any one of those quilts, you have to get the tickets over at the table and designate by putting your ticket in whatever can for the quilts. Peggy's also planning a tea party, and that'll be next Monday, the 20th. So if you're interested in coming to the tea party, there's treats. I always say there's treats, but there's more. You need to go through the website and to the store and sign up that you are coming, because there's a fee attached to it. Okay, I'm going to pass the mic. Yeah, sure. Oh, she's going to take money today. If you know that you want to go to the tea party, would you please see Peggy? You all know who she is now. And she does need help. I was asking her last night on the phone, what do you need? And she says, well, what are you gonna do? I mean, she needs everything. She needs helpers. She needs people to donate, treats or sandwiches or help with the tea, that kind of thing. So if you want looking for a lot of fun, men are invited. Tell Peggy that you're interested. Okay, I'm going to pass now to Sherry Erickson.
As part of our collection development committee, we work with the collections that are donated to our library, but we also get to purchase books for when a member of ours turns 90. That member can choose a book, and then the book gets put back into the library, so we all get to use it. So today we have two gentlemen that have reached that good age. And the first one is Marvin Otto. He was born in Chicago, Illinois in 1932, attended grammar and high school in Chicago. In the 1920s and 30s, his father had a business of moving the residential ice and coal delivery. And we should have had you bring your card. He brought a cardboard sign that he has from his dad, so we'll have to have you look at it later. He has the last ice card, which you would place in your window showing how much ice you wanted that day. After high school, he spent 3 years in the Army, 2 of them in Germany. This was during the Korean conflict. Shortly after the separation from the Army, he went to work for a commercial flooring contractor in Chicago and retired from that firm 44 years later. Has 2 daughters and 2 grandsons who live in the Chicago area. It was about 40 years ago that he decided to do research. His father's family, both of his father's parents, were born in Germany. Little did he know what he was getting into when he started the search. That's led to many successes and many brick walls, like all of us. During a visit with a cousin in Florida, he learned that his father was one of 10 children. The best part of the visit was that she showed him a photo of his grandfather and the 10 children along with their names and dates of birth. His genealogy book now has 600 pages. Great accomplishment. And around 300 names. Much of his research has been done at the Newberry Library in Chicago and many others in the Chicago area. After moving to Arizona in 2002, he continued the search. It was great when he learned about WVGS, and even better after he joined. The access to Ancestry and the help of the people there made things a lot easier. The reason for him requesting this book was that it contains the names of his great-grandparents and 2 of his great-uncles that arrived here in the May of 1870. This was 7 years after his grandfather arrived here, and thus the purchase of the book Germans to America, Volume 24, 1870. This adds to our collection. We have 7 books in this series now, and I don't know how many are. There are, but that's Volume 24, so we have a ways to go. So, and he wishes to thank the WVGS members for this.
I do indeed. Thank you all very much.
And this is for him.
Okay. You can go back and see his wife.
Okay.
His wife came with him today too, and Debbie, and she's a member too, so. Our second member is Don Lorenzen. I hope I pronounced that right. He was born in 1932, raised in Portland, Oregon, graduated from Oregon State University in 1954. While at OSU, he met Shirley. After college, they married and spent 63 years together before she passed away in 2020. He spent 4 years as an officer in the U.S. Navy and 38 years with General Electric Company as an accountant. They were married in Newport, Rhode Island, and subsequently lived in San Diego, Phoenix, Oklahoma City, New York City, upstate New York, and for 30 years in Newtown, Connecticut. Is that? While there, Shirley was the Republican Register of Voters, an elected position, and Don was the chairman of the Inland Wetlands Regulatory Commission. They have 2 sons, Kenneth, born in San Diego, and David, born in Phoenix, and 6 grandchildren. After his retirement from GE, they moved to Sun City West in 1999. Shortly after moving back to the Valley, they joined WVGS. Shirley was the editor of Tidbits for many years, and Don was a member of, and then chairman of the Finance Committee. They were both proofreaders for Tidbits and Tracker. Shirley was a direct descendant of Edward Beeson, who appeared in 1702 with William Penn's commissioners of property in Philadelphia and received a land grant in Nottingham Township near Maryland. Thus, the purchase of this book, the Nottingham Lots, a 300 centuries celebration. This was done in 201 when the book was written by the East Nottingham trustees. So I felt fortunate we could find a book that had both of their names in them that they requested. So just a minute, Don.
I didn't know what to get for the men, but a shamrock plant seemed appropriate. Thank you, and let's sing happy birthday to these 2 gentlemen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear McMartin and Don. Happy birthday to you. Special. Barb Schroyer has a brief education report.
I just want to remind you, we have 2 classes coming up in the next month. One of them is Barb Stenberg's Novice Genealogy. That's this Friday afternoon. That's for those getting started or a little past getting started but still need to add to some of their basic information. We also have the DNA kindergarten class on the 30th, taught by Bonnie Bossart. And I need to mention that on the, you can sign up for those at break with my daughter or with Catherine Powers over at the education table. On the 20th, Lou is doing her, I'm not allowed to call it fabulous, the computer tutorial, is that at 9 or 10? 10. It's at 10 o'clock. There's only 9 spaces for it, so if you want to go on that day to it, you need to sign up at the table, one of those 10 slots, or sign up later. And we're also doing research consults that day. I think I'm the only one scheduled to do it right now, and I will do it before and after the tea party. And if we have a lot of requests, we'll get somebody else to help with the consults. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take a break, but I want to remind you that raffle tickets for the quilts are still being sold, and they're over here. I'm sure that Sally will be there selling those tickets. Peggy will also take folks telling her about coming or to the tea, right? When somebody wants to come and talk to you about them wanting to come to the tea, yes. So good, we're gonna take a short break. It's actually, I think, 2:30. No, oh geez, where am I? It's 1:30. Let's come back and get ready for our lovely panel in 15 minutes. So at 1:45, we'll be flashing the lights. Okay, so you all have a nice break.
Hi.
Yeah, it's the last Monday in March, so the 27th?
27th, yeah. 27th. I thought it was the 21st.
Yeah.
What time?
Yeah,
What time?
10.
yeah.
Well, this is fine.
Well, you really need the computer here. So
Yeah, right.
to do it
He
live.
does it, yeah. Yeah, we go to do that. I'm not sure that he can do that here. It's hard for him because he doesn't use Zoom. And we'd have to go back to using our Zoom account, which is going to expire or renew April 2nd. So I sent it out to them to ask. I've not used it since May. Do we need to keep this account? So maybe that's part of this questionnaire too. If we want to do that, then we'll have to figure it out, and we got to give him the Zoom account. Yeah. And he wasn't sure, how's that all going to record with my equipment and everything, so. Yeah.
Because it just records directly, and we can record it from the cloud. We
Right.
don't have to record it locally.
Right. So we'll have to get
so
that
that's-
working if that's what we
yeah.
decide to do. Because before I was using the presentation when I'm doing it. And he really, all he was doing was projecting up there and speaking. So,
Yeah, Zoom probably makes it easier.
Yeah.
And I think with a lot of people, we can collect it.
yes. So, I mean, we'll work it if we have to.
Okay.
It's just a lot of work. And I know a lot of people would prefer, because then you get a lot of outsiders out of state, connect.
The other society I felt, I can't believe the number of people we've gotten out of state. We got Ontario, Canada,
Yeah.
California,
Right.
all of the countries.
And they join.
Because they join because, we have some really good presentations because we're doing everything live.
Yes.
And so, we get lots of numbers. Of course, it's not nearly as big.
No, I think that, we can do it, but we need more of those people that are here to volunteer. We need some help, and that's been really hard. Getting volunteers. All right, thank you.
There are some items up here. There are some DAR items up here on the table, some magazines to look at if you want, and there are a few items, pamphlets that you can take if you are interested.